this is the A, 0.123498. What is my B? It's what? And then we know my C is what? Okay. Now, good thing we have calculators. I don't want to hear complaining about this because you actually don't have to calculate. You just have to type it into the calculator. So, what would negative B be? Why is it not negative? A negative is just going to be a positive over 2 times this number. There's 4. Yes. So go ahead and type in your calculator 2 times this. Yes, I want you to type it in because a lot of the times we miss things because we don't type it into our calculator correctly. If you don't have a calculator, go grab a calculator. This is 4th quarter, people. Don't flirt for me. Don't flirt for me.
Okay, well, don't flirt.
You do have homework today. So the quicker you get moving, the quicker you do it. Depends on how quickly we move today. Michaela, what did you get when you typed this bottom part in? Okay, so there wasn't a fraction. Okay, so it's 0. How many zeros, Callie? 3? And then what? So then how do I finish solving that? No, I divide. 0.37 divided by that bottom number. Type it in. $1,000. You guys know how to say this number. $1,887.75. Let's round to the nearest whole number. What would the nearest whole number be? 1,880. Perfect. And that is going to be the height of the cable above the water at its lowest point. Actually, no. What is that value? That is our X value. That's this point right here, right?
Yes.
So does that tell us how high it is above the water? No. So what do we have to do with this number? Sub it back into this equation. So yes, we are going to practice typing this in our calculator. So I'm going to take 0.12348 times 1,888 squared. Okay, so you're going to type in 1,000. So listen to how I'm saying this. Type in 1,888 squared. You should get 3,564,544. Then you're going to take that times 0.4098. And this combined should be 349.33. I'm rounding to the nearest 10. And then we have to multiply 0.37 times 1,888. If you guys aren't getting what I'm getting, you need to tell me. 698.56. Correct. And you still have the plus 552 at the end. So now I just have to type this back in. So 349.33 minus 698.56, and then add 552 to it. 202.77. Now round that number to the nearest whole number. 203. And we would label it, so that's my Y value, so that would be the height.
typed it in like exactly correct, like exactly like she wrote, you wouldn't have to do it in the order she told you. She did it because we usually make mistakes, so that's a lot easier. But I typed it in just like what you guys were doing. I got the same thing, and I didn't have to split it up like she did. Okay, so if you can pay attention to details, and put it in exactly like that. Don't even have to do that much work.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so then I have one more example for you. Now, okay. A group of friends is launching water balloons, and then they give us the function that represents the height and feet of the first water balloon. So this is the first water balloon. T represents seconds after it is launched. Then it says the height of the second water balloon is launched and shown in the graph. Which water balloon went higher? So first of all, if we look at our graph, what's the highest point that our water balloon went? What is it called?
Our vertex.
It is our vertex, which is about right here, correct? What does my graph go by? 25s, because this would be 25, 50, 75, 100, right? So this is about, what would we say? The highest point was about 130 maybe, because it's above 125, right? Okay, so we know that the second water balloon went about 130 feet. How are we going to figure out how high the first water balloon went? What else do we have to find? So we found the vertex in this one. So what do we have to figure out in that one? The vertex. So we're going to use the negative b over 2a. What is my b in the function? 80. This is the vertex. And the line of symmetry, yes. What is my a? Negative 16. So what's negative b? Negative 80 over 2 times negative 16. 2 times negative 16. Type in your calculator. No. Negative what? Okay, take 80 divided by negative 80 divided by negative 32. What do you get? No. Type in your calculator. Make sure you use the negative button, or the negative button, which is down here by the enter sign. Negative 80 divided by negative 32. You get? You know your answer should be positive because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So, is this my x or my y? It's your x, so I have to figure out the y because that tells me the height. So what do I do with this 2.5? Okay, let's type it in like Mrs. Springer said. So we're going to just type it in all at once so we don't have to do all of the little details. So type in negative 16. Make sure you use the negative button. Negative 16, parentheses, 2.5. Close your parentheses, then square it. Plus 80 times, I would put, times 2.5 plus 5. What do you get? 105, right? So, this is the height of the first water balloon. This is the height of the second water balloon. Which water balloon went higher? The second water balloon. Question. So what do we always have to find when we are finding things? The vertex, okay? We've also talked about that the vertex tells me two things. Well, three things. It tells me where the graph changes direction. The x tells me the line of symmetry. And then the y tells me the range. If the graph is opening up,